We're going on an adventure. We're going on an adventure. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to bring you guys along on a little bit of a lockdown adventure today. Are you guys excited? Are you excited? I'm excited! As you guys can probably tell from the title, I am actually going to go to Costco today. Ooh, I am so excited. I can't even contain it. I'm gonna be going to Costco really soon, and I wanna take you guys along with me. So if you guys didn't already know, my name is Anika and I am an American living in London. And if you guys want to see more videos of my life in London, please make sure to smash that subscribe button and be a part of my YouTube fam, because I love sharing my life as an expat in London. So as I already said, we are going on an adventure today, and because at the time of recording this video, London is still in lockdown, the closest thing to an adventure I get is going to the grocery store. Yep. That's what lockdown life has led to. 2021, my life is so exciting that I get to go to grocery stores like Costco. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys are in that same boat and you guys get really excited to go to a grocery store, because let's be real, that is the highlight of my weekend. Right guys, as an American living abroad, I definitely get homesick a bit, and because of the lockdown and the pandemic and unable to be going home as much as I normally would like to, I'm definitely feeling the homesickness a little bit more this year. And you know what? That is a typical effect or side effect of being an American abroad. I have done a number of videos on my YouTube channel all about my life abroad and some of the pros and cons of that. If you guys want to check out any of those videos, please make sure to click the card right now, because I will link them up there, and I will also link them down in the description. Anyways, I was feeling a little bit homesick, so in an effort to make myself feel a little bit better, I wanted to go check out a Costco. Now, I know that there are quite a few Costcos in the UK now, and Costco being an American retailer, I thought if I go into a UK Costco, I could probably feel a little bit more at home and just see some familiar groceries that I'm used to seeing. Now, you can get typical American groceries in stores like Sainsbury's or Asda or Tesco, but in my experience, those stores, when you go to the international aisle or the American aisle, you end up paying so much more money because, yeah, just import tax, whatever you name it, they're just not that affordable. So I wanted to go into Costco today and show you guys if Costco UK is like Costco US, and I can get bulk buy items that are American or more typically American here in the UK for a pretty decent price. So there are two Costcos that I know of in London. There is one in Northwest London and in Southwest London. Today I am going to be going to the one in Southwest London. So I'll take you guys along with me and I'll show you guys the layout. I'll show you guys what it looks like on the inside. So just an FYI, I do not have a Costco membership here in the UK, but I am planning on possibly getting one. I'm not sure yet. I need to go check out a Costco first. And if you are keen on getting a Costco membership here in the UK, you can actually go into their stores even now and ask for a day pass or a tour pass, which is what I'm gonna go ask for. And when you ask for this pass, they take your details down and you basically get entry into their store for the day, and you can just have a browse around. You can look around. You cannot actually buy anything because you don't have membership to buy things, but you can at least go check things out, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's go to Costco, guys. Come on, let's go. As you guys can tell, I'm not at home, but I am actually in my local Costco here in London, and I am really excited to walk around and show you guys what a Costco looks like in the UK versus in the US. So I'm going to take you guys through some of the aisles, some of the products that I see, and then really compare if it's the same here as it is in the US. I think for the most part everything will be the same, but it's fun to just see if I can get the same products here, Costco in London in the UK, as you do in the US. So far, most of the home stuff as well as all of the bulk buy things that I've noticed are basically the same, but I'm curious to see if the food and the food section is actually going to be the same, because that is why I might get membership here. It's for the food. Come on, who doesn't love Costco food? this good stuff here. Oh my gosh, guys, it just seems like the same. I kind of feel like I've transported myself back to California because Costco looks basically the same here in the UK as it does in Costco. Obviously, I didn't have that much of a poke to see if the exact items are the same, but for the most part, all the food items that I saw seem like they're the exact same that I could probably get in California, with some exceptions. But the produce looks amazing, which as a Californian, I love good produce. So overall, I think I'll probably get membership, but oh, I love Costco size of things. Look at the size of these peanuts. I just feel like Costco, I don't know, it just makes me feel more at home. And I love that there's a Costco in England, in London. I am still in London, so I love that there's a Costco here, and I love that I could possibly go grocery shopping here. Alright guys, back from Costco. I am excited to tell you guys all the similarities and differences that you can experience in a UK Costco versus a US Costco. Now you guys would have seen a little bit of footage of exactly what I saw in Costco, but I did make a list and I wanted to share all the similarities and differences between a US Costco and a UK Costco. So first, let's go into the similarities. The first similarity is the food court. So I have to say, I was so happy to see the food court. I mean, come on, when you go to Costco, you gotta get Costco pizza or Costco hot dog or any of their food that you can get in their food court, which is really just one stand where you can just pick up some things on the way out. But I have to say, the Costco food court is exactly the same as the American food court. Obviously, all prices are in pounds and the American ones are in dollars, but you can get hot dogs, you can get pizza, I think you can get a few other bits, but those are the two things I would always get at Costco. So, whoop whoop. The food court is exactly the same. The next thing that I noticed that is exactly the same in Costco UK is the actual floor plan and layout. So they have the warehouse side, which has like the bulk buy items for homeware and for, you know, like there's Tupperware, there was blenders, there was all the things that you can buy that are typical warehouse things. And then they went into the food section and then finally into kind of like the dried goods and clothes and stuff like that. So the layout is basically the exact same. The shopping carts are the same. All of that felt very familiar to me as an American. And so, yeah, I'd say all of that is very similar. The next thing that was the same was all of the foods. So the bakery section, the fresh fruit, and even the pre-prepared food, all of that was honestly the same as what I experienced in America. Also, I absolutely love that the Costco food size is very typical, massive Costco size. So like when you look at their croissants or even their muffins, they are massive. And like, they're really not a muffin. That's like basically a mini cake. And like the prepared foods is again made for a family of 10. So you can get like a lasagna that's like absolutely massive. Like I don't know who would eat that much lasagna in a week. And then they had like these little taco sets where you can have like, there was flour tortillas and then there was like different dips and then also like chicken that was already cooked. And all of this was in the prepared section. All the bakery stuff was very familiar. And then they did have a small section where they had all their fruits and veg. Again, all the same layout as the Costco I remember from the US. So I have to say another similarity is that the size and square footage of this Costco that I went to in Southwest London was very much the same size and layout as an American Costco. Now, it's not the biggest, but I was pretty surprised at how big it was. It took up its own lot space, so it had its own parking garage and parking area. And I was really surprised at how big it is because obviously more stores in England are smaller just because there's not enough space. But this Costco was pretty much on par. I'd say I was walking into an American-sized Costco. Wasn't the biggest Costco I've ever seen, but it was really good size. So that was another similarity, is that the size is massive, just like American Costco's. Another similarity that I spotted is that they had all of their typical Kirkland brand products. So when I go into Costco, there are some Kirkland brands that I absolutely love, and they do like Kirkland organic brands, which again, it was so nice to see that. That was just so familiar and made me feel like I was back at home. There was like the Kirkland pesto, the tomato sauce or marinara sauce, and then there was the nuts. Like that's another thing is like they have such great prices on wholesale cashews, almonds, walnuts, you name it. And all of that was there, which was so heartwarming to see. It just reminds me of home, and I don't know, it just made me feel so good. And the final thing that I noticed that is very similar to the US is the Costco warranty. So if you buy a TV or a computer or any sort of electronic, I think like a camcorder, you get extended Costco warranty. So I think with their TVs, it's up to 5 years. And then with any other electronic like a computer or an iPad or a digital camera, you get a 2-year warranty. So that's exactly the same as you would expect in the US. Overall, I was really impressed. I was mainly looking at the food section and the bulk buy of like cleaning items and dried goods. So I am really excited because I think that the Costco here is very similar to the Costco in the US. So I might have to get a membership just to try out some of the food and do a true taste test to see if the food actually tastes the same here in the Costco in the UK. Give this video a thumbs up if you guys want me to get a Costco membership and do a food taste test for you guys. Now moving on to differences. So there are a few differences that I noticed, but I don't think they're that major, to be completely honest. And there was only 3 differences that I noticed that are different here in the UK that you wouldn't see in a US Costco. The first difference that I noticed right off the bat was membership is way cheaper here. Now I don't know if that has to do with the fact that the UK doesn't have as many Costcos as the US, so maybe they're obviously just trying to charge appropriately for the number of stores that they have. But I mean, it's like a third cheaper, or like even like 50% cheaper here in the UK, obviously dependent on what type of membership you decide to get. But when I was speaking to the membership services team, they were telling me some quotes of what I would have to pay here. And based on that, and based on what I know my parents pay in the US, it is so much cheaper here to get a membership for Costco than in the US. So another difference that I noticed is that prices are mostly the same here in the UK as they are in the US. But I have to say overall, I think prices are just a little bit more pricey here in the UK. But you know what? That is totally because the pound is stronger than the dollar, and then we also pay a higher VAT. So because of that, things in the UK tend to be more expensive than in the US. So overall, I'd say, yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, but to be honest, most things here are a little bit more expensive for an American. So yeah, that's the difference I spotted. And the final difference that I spotted here in the UK is that they allow for online shopping and deliveries included in that online shopping. So if you shop at costco.co.uk, supposedly you get free delivery with that order. And I just know that in the US they are doing deliveries for Costco, but I think that's an extra charge. I'm not 100% sure on that, so do check before you quote me on that. But it was really nice to see there were so many signs in this Costco saying like, you know, order online and we'll deliver for free. So obviously they are accommodating here in the UK that maybe most people or a lot of people don't have cars or can't drive to a Costco and pick up stuff. And so they'll drive to you and they'll deliver those things for you. So that was nice to see because most UK supermarkets offer some sort of free delivery or delivery incentive. If you spend a certain amount with them, then you end up getting free delivery. So Costco, to keep up with like the Asda's, the Tesco's, and the Sainsbury's, also offer similar incentives where you get free delivery if you order online. So is it really worth getting a Costco membership? Like honestly, is it worth, you know, driving out of town? Because this was a bit of a drive for me. Is it worth, you know, bulk buying everything and filling your garage or your storage cupboard full of food instead of buying from your normal, you know, Sainsbury's, Tesco, or Asda? And I have to say yes. Yes, it's totally worth it. Bulk buying actually is a big thing that ends up saving you money in the long run, especially if things that don't go off. Like fresh food is another thing. You're gonna have to eat that pretty quickly. But when you bulk buy like dry food, like pastas, or you know what I mean, like anything that you can put in a freezer as well, all those types of food that stay good for months, it is so much cheaper to bulk buy. And I think that driving to a Costco or making your way to a Costco that's usually on the outskirts of a city is totally worth it. So I will likely be buying a Costco membership, but I don't think I will be getting one right away because I still live in a London flat, and this London flat just does not have the space or storage room for me to bulk buy, unfortunately. I would actually love it. I grew up where my mom always went to Costco and we always had like Costco sized food things in the house just because it was easier to cook for a family that way. And I don't know, I just love Costco. And so I think I will get a membership at one point when I do have my own space, or a little bit more space, I should say, where I can store things for longer periods. Overall, I think going to Costco today made me feel so much happier and made me feel a little less homesick, which was so nice. I just think that seeing certain things that I'm used to seeing in America or at home is so nice to have, especially in this pandemic when I'm not allowed to go home or I'm not allowed to travel and see my family. I think little things like having a Costco in the UK just makes it seem like more of home for me. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I certainly do. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me and seeing what is inside a UK Costco. And if you guys want to see more videos like this and you want to see my life in London, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload 2 times a week on Thursdays and on Sundays at 5 p.m. GMT. And make sure you turn on that bell notification so you know exactly when my next video is going live. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I hope to catch you guys in my next video. Bye!